rush me, please. The results just came in. It seems that the DNA matches. The blood's from the same person.
Huh, I see. If that's the case, what kind of hemorrhaging is it? If this hemorrhaging wasn't caused by physical trauma, then... What is this damage to the joint? It's hard to think that an external force could cause this kind of effect. What's this? These scratches on the bone look like an area that's been shaved off. Looks like I need to look into what caused this damage. This. The femur is completely broken. But why? In the human skeleton, the femur is... Yes, it was the same in the case when that girl Veronica was thrown off the bridge. But the femur is the strongest among all the bones in the human body. What could have broken this so easily? Hey, little guy, can you analyze this marking here?
Yes, of course.
How does it look? Can you learn anything from it?
Yes, first of all, the damage was done recently. There's no discoloration on the bone tissue in the area that had been damaged.
I see. Does this mean that whatever happened here occurred after the person died?
That's right. I don't think it could have happened any other way. From looking at the damaged area, it seems the bone had been shaved away using a tool, like a router.
A router? The only reason I would expect that to happen would be... That's right. The staff at USAMRIID was using this bone for research. There's a good chance they shaved a sample from the bone in order to study it.
Yes, you need small fragments for the high-detail analysis. That's likely what happened to this bone.
Wait a second.
What's wrong?
The researcher at USAMRIID was infected while he was studying this bone. Using a router on the bone would cause particles of pulverized bone to be ejected in the air. If the researcher came down with the disease after performing that procedure, then... Little guy, can I bother you for a moment?
Yes, of course. How may I help you?
I want your opinion on this fractured femur.
Oh, okay. Just a second.
Well, anything?
Well... What's this? This bone is hollow on the inside. I'm not surprised it broke if it was like this.
Did this fracture occur while the person was still alive?
I can't say about the fracture, but the loss in bone density must have occurred while the person lived.
It seems safe to assume that the fracture was caused by the decrease in bone density then. Little guy, I need this damage analyzed.
Right away.
What's the matter?
Nothing. A bone abrasion caused this damage.
Bone abrasion? What do you mean?
Normally, wherever bones meet, there's a layer of fibrocartilage. In this case, the knee. That pad is known as the meniscus. That prevents damage like this from occurring in most people's bodies. The signs of wear I see here are consistent with the bones grinding together.
So these abrasions here were apparently caused by... Indeed. This would mean that the meniscus was lost while the person was still alive and moving. But what would cause this to happen? That's right. Now we're starting to see how the serviceman at New Samrid was infected as well. The virus rests within that skeleton. The root of infection is... Yes, it's when it comes in contact with a mucous membrane. Reaching a mucous membrane within the mouth or body causes the virus to infect that person. But there's no way that a researcher would lick or swallow a bone. However, the U Samrid staff did collect a bone sample for their research. In order to obtain that sample, the researcher... Right. He used a router to shave away a portion of the bone. This is likely what caused the researcher to be infected. The reason for this is... Yes, shaving bone with a router causes particles of bone dust to fly out into the air. It's likely that the researcher inhaled some of that powder while he was working. The powder then carried the infection and made contact with the mucous membranes. That is my hypothesis to explain the infection of the U Samrid researcher.